Hi, how's everybody doing today? This is your host, Rich. Here we have a Rich TV Live with our very special guest. It is Mykel Hawke. How you doing today, Mykel?
Doing good, my man. Another day above ground, so no complaints.
Super excited to have you on the show today. There's a lot of exciting things happening with Clickstream and the WinQuik app. The launch of the app is happening in September, where you are going to be able to get free prizes and cash for winning trivia questions. And I'm very excited to have you on our show as a Special Forces combat vet, a retired Army captain, and a survival expert. Tell us about how you became a host with your own show on the WinQuik app.
Well, it's kind of funny because actually I've got 9 conflicts, almost 30 years in special operations as a medic communications intelligence guy. And after 9/11, I came back in, went to the dark side, became an officer and did all that. And then I retired 10 years later. So, but because of the way that 9/11 happened and the Green Berets on horseback riding in, overthrowing the Taliban, all of a sudden there was a need for Green Berets in TV. And just so happened I was working for ABC as a producer in LA, living with my 2 teen sons as a single dad when 9/11 happened. And I'm like, hey guys, I can get out or I could go fight bad guys. And they're like, Dad, go kick some butt. So I went. A couple years later, I come out and the guys in LA are like, hey, we need to do an interview with a Green Beret or, whatever. And I was the only one they knew. So by default, I ended up being sort of a subject matter expert. And then they asked me, hey, you did pretty good. Would you like to make some shows? So I created my own shows, Man, Woman, Wild, One Man Army. So all these survival and special ops shows. And so I actually had the pedigree in special ops as well as in the media with over 50 different shows. And so WinQuick came to me and said, hey, we like what you're about. We like what you do. Would you be interested in working with us? And I'm like, heck yeah, you're talking about an app that's cutting edge, brand new technology. It's a way to educate people, enrich their lives, edify them, and make things better. And for me, with all this depression and everything going on and a pandemic, something that's going to let people have a little bit of fun, maybe make a little bit of extra cash and hopefully learn some things that I'm interested in. A Green Beret, we're teachers first and foremost. So it was all win. It was a win-win on WinQuick, if you will. How about that?
I like that. Also, tell us a little bit more about your military experience and where you've served, what countries, and what rank did you retire?
Yeah, it's a fair question. Most of the special ops guys, we like to be the quiet professionals. Doesn't mean silent professionals. So not real big on chest thumping and all that. But, I have been in like 9 different conflicts, around 100 different engagements,
Wow.
worked in places like Afghanistan, Iraq, Africa, Latin America, East Europe. So it's a wide spectrum of experience. And as I already touched on with a medical and communications intelligence background, it made for a really good foundation with which to share survival knowledge to people, both military, government, and primarily in the civilian sector. Because the big thing to me about survival is it's in all of us and you can apply it to your everyday lives. And so, yeah, that's where the experience came from. And that's why I ended up doing shows and doing the military. And here I am now doing the same thing, but we're doing it with the WinQuik app. And it's pretty cool because this is where the technology is going these days. Everybody's doing things on their phone. So this is a way to reach more people, old and young. Everybody's got a smartphone. I go to Africa, I go to Asia, and there's a little village and they live in a dirt mud hut and they still got a cell phone and they're watching TV. And I'm like, that's awesome. So when they came to me with a WinQuik app and said, hey, you want to reach out and teach people survival? I'm like, let me think on this. Yes.
Now, you've published over a dozen books on human survival. Why are you so passionate about human survival?
That's it. That's a fun one. Yeah, so I've actually written about a dozen books, a lot of them on survival. I actually cover things like medicine and knives and communications and language. Actually, I've got a best-selling language book that's been out for like 20 years. I've been
Wow.
rated in like 7 languages, spoke 10, studied a handful more. So it was just something like survival. Language is a survival skill. If you go to some foreign country and there's a conflict and you can talk to the locals and bond with them, then there's a greater chance of your survival. So for me, the language and survival went hand in hand. So yeah, I've written a whole bunch of books and a whole bunch of things. I've made actually a bunch of survival products and stuff like that. I guess what it comes down to is always that core fundamental principle is that I'm a teacher first and foremost in everything that I do. And whether I'm writing books or doing shows or making products or doing apps and games, it's all about teaching people. That's what's really important to me.
That's great. And what drew you to the WinQuik app?
Well, as I mentioned, it's just the modern days that we're in. I've got grown kids and I've got grandkids and I've got a young teen son, and the things that he can do on his phone with all the tech, is amazing to me. I mean, I've seen professional editors not be able to do as much as he can do just on his phone. So for me, the WinQuik app being something that people can play on their phones or on their computers if they're old school like I am, old school playing on a computer, right? It's kind of funny. That it's a way to just reach more people. And because it's so brand new, and the big thing that to me that I like about it is it's not gambling. It's playing a game. You download it for free. You can play for free. You're not putting any money in it. You're just using your knowledge, your wits, and if you win, then you get some free cash and prizes. And so there are no downsides to that. And I think that's what really attracted me to it. Plus, having been around a while, seen a lot of poverty in a lot of third world countries, the fact that we're going through a tough time as a nation, as a globe right now, I think the fact that this is a way that can bring people together, playing games and uniting people, and as well as, teaching them and hopefully really expanding their horizons. All of those things are what attracted me to the WinQuik app when they came to me and asked me, hey, do you want to be part of our team?
Now, I've had other hosts join me here on the Rich TV Live and say that they can't wait to play their show. Human survival. Now, that's really cool. That has to be one of the most interesting WinQuik categories because everyone likes to think they'd survive some of the toughest situations on Earth. Everyone thinks that, including me. What will you be quizzing users on?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I always like to make sure I cover the basics. We always say in special ops, you're only as good as the basics, right?
Absolutely.
So I cover the 8, what I call foundations of survival, food, water, fire, shelter, and then of course, navigation, communication, medicine, and safety, security, right? So all of those things I cover, but also I'm all about knowing, hey, there's some really awesome people that know a lot, and I want to make sure that they're getting some value and some benefit out of it as well. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I am a Green Beret, I'm not going to make it easy. They're going to win some money. I'm going to make them earn it. Okay. So I test them on all kinds of really neat things that I think will make everybody like, wow, that's really interesting. That's really exciting. However, we have tricks. So we're not just going to hit them with survival.
Very good. Now, WinQuick's Chief Revenue Officer, Greg Clem, who was on our show last week, said you guys are already casting new shows and expanding programming, which is epic because you guys are just getting started. Will you venture into other categories or host different shows?
Yes. In fact, we just finished filming like a whole bunch of episodes, and I was very excited about it because we got to cover something obviously near and dear to my heart, which is languages. It's not just testing people on their knowledge of the language, but it's just all the fascinating aspects of language. I mean, there are so many, I can't give too much away. But also one of the things that I think resonates with everyone, especially in America, is America's history and involvement in other wars and conflicts. So I get to touch on a couple of subjects right there that are all near and dear to my heart, in my lane, something I happen to be a subject matter expert on. And that's kind of what we're doing across the spectrum with all of our current hosts. We're bringing in new hosts with new specialities, as well as we're taking the current hosts that we have and letting them expand to the things that they're interested in and good at. So what it means for all the people who come and play is you're going to have no shortage of fun topics to pick from.
That's fantastic. I'm really excited to see you guys evolve. Now, Clickstream has really brought in some heavy hitters from the media world to build this app. What has it been like working with some of the top producers and writers in the business?
Well, I mean, I got to say, when they first came to me and, they're point of origin was sports, and then they've quickly spread out across the whole, gambit of everything to do with Hollywood media, books. But when they first came to me, people like, Amber Theo-Harris, who's not only an executive producer and I think one of the original masterminds behind the idea, but I mean, the woman is a powerhouse. She's won a whole bunch of Emmys, and, they're bringing in their Baldy, who's everybody's got respect and love for that guy. They bring in Howie Schwab, and everybody knows him as like the man of all things sports. We're bringing in so many cool other people, cool chefs, Hollywood celebrities. And so for me to be involved with such a dynamic and impressive and accomplished group was very humbling. And it's also very exciting because I know when I play their games, they're going to put my mettle to the test.
That's great. Now, when the app launches later September this month, whose game show will you play first other than your own show?
Well, I can't really play my own because that'd be like cheating, right? I know all the answers.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, Jordan Andino's show with the food is going to be pretty exciting. Of course, Amber's going to actually be touching on some things that I think are pretty neat, like Greek mythology, being that
Wow.
I'm part Greek. That's very exciting to me. Some of the other guys are going to be talking about like sports movies. So that's going to be pretty exciting stuff. So I think I'm going to probably try everybody's games for a little while. And then the ones that I'm good at, I'm going to keep playing. And the ones that I get crushed on, well, I'm going to get better at them. So I'm probably going to be playing all their games.
Well, I'm super excited to see the evolution of Clickstream and the WinQuik app. Thank you for joining our show. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors, and I'll be watching very, very, very closely.
All righty, Rich. Thank you very much. Take care now.
Thank you, Mykel Hawke, survival expert, WinQuik app host here on Rich TV Live. Have yourselves a great day, everybody.